Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Welcome to Troop Talk Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Scouter Mrs. Edens wins the prize for the first comment. She commented 4 minutes before we even went live. Good afternoon from Troop 19. Good to see you, Mrs. Edens. My name is Aaron, but the most important person on the show today, as usual, is not me. We are joined by Bray Barnes on the side of the screen over here. Mr. Barnes, how are you doing today, sir?
Good, Aaron. Pleasure to be with you. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Yes, we're so glad to have you here, Mr. Barnes. Bray, excuse me, is the Deputy International Commissioner. He is also a member of the Scouting America National Board. It's an honor to have you on, sir. We're here today to talk about international opportunities for Scouts BSA members. I think a lot of folks might not realize that the Scouting movement is international. Bray, maybe talk about your role real quick about as Deputy International Commissioner, and maybe just give the folks who don't know kind of an overview of international scouting. What are we talking about?
Good. Thanks, Aaron. The Scouting America has an international committee. We have about 100 members, all volunteers. And we are the face on behalf of Scouting America for our councils, for our units, and for our scouts to the 60 million scouts around the world. We have 60 million scouts in 176 countries. And through the International Committee in Scouting America, we have the opportunity to provide a program to our scouts, not only in the United States as to where they could do international scouting within their homes, and we're going to talk about some of those programs, or they can actually attend events around the world. And we are able to provide all of that opportunities to our scouts and our councils and our units in a very safe and secure environment. And I just want to say one thing, Aaron, as we talk about all of the different programs that we have today, the last slide that we'll show you is a website that will provide the International Committee. All of the information that we give you today will be on our website, as well as the World Organization of Scout Movement, all of that information. So if you missed something while we're talking, please feel free to go to any of those websites and you can gather additional information.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Our viewer Rob says he's sitting on an Eagle board of review tonight. Scouting never ends. Thank you, Rob. Shout out to Rusty, who's watching from PAC 84 in New Philadelphia, Ohio. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, you heard Bray mention the WASM World of Scouting Movement. Is that right?
Yeah, World Organization of Scout Movement. That's correct.
World Organization of the Scout Movement. Right. That's sort of the international governing body, and every country that's part of that has representatives, including Scouting America, representing the scouts in our country. Yeah, you mentioned it. There's lots of different events, lots of different ways folks can be part of that international movement. I love the fact that you said there are ways they can do it without leaving their house. There are also ways they can you can travel all over the world and attend really cool events. Let's talk about some of those, Bray, if we could. I want to start with an event. We love our acronyms here at Scouting. JOTA, Jody, that's JOTA, and JOTI. What are those two things, Bray? What can you tell us about those two events?
Yeah, I got to tell you, Aaron, that's always been confusing for me too. So JOTA Jodi is Jamboree on the Air and Jamboree on the Internet. This is held every October every year. And as you can see, we have the date from just happened a couple of weeks ago. And this is the opportunity for scouts around the world, and all of our scouts in the United States connect with scouts around the world. Originally, when it started a number of years ago, about 2 million scouts connected. This last one, a couple of weeks ago, we had 11 million scouts around the world connecting on JOTA Jodi. Now, if you're a ham radio operator, that's one of the ways to connect, or you can connect through the internet. But these are one of the two ways that scouts can connect with one another. And even though it's just during the month of October, then once they register, this gives the scouts. There's a bunch of scouts from Africa on JOTA Jodi a couple of weeks ago. It gives them the opportunity to interface with scouts all year long. And they can meet scouts from Africa, Asia, and you just imagine any 176 countries. And again, emphasizing in a safe, secure environment. And one of the great things about it, Aaron, it's free.
Yeah, that's definitely great news for sure. The 2025 version of JOTA Jodi just happened a couple of weeks ago. If anybody's interested in participating in future events, Bray, what advice do you have for them?
Okay. Well, one of the best thing, Aaron, is they can go up on the WASM website, or they can go up on the JOTA Jodi website, and they can register. And once they register, then that would give them access to all of the other scouts around the world that have also registered. However, they just don't have to register for Jota Jodi. If scouts are interested in connecting with scouts throughout the world, whether it's in Thailand or South Africa or South America, one of the best things that they can do is to communicate directly through what they call the National Scout Organization in that particular country, or the NSO, another one of our famous acronyms. They can reach out to the NSO and they can connect through scouts in that particular country through the NSO. One of the other opportunities they have, and we'll talk about this a little bit later on, is the international representative in their council. That's a great resource for them to engage with international scouting, both here at home and if they want to attend world events. So any number of those opportunities, Aaron, could connect our scouts with scouts around the world.
Awesome. Yeah, our friend Garfield is watching. He says it's a great opportunity to see how big the scouting movement is. Thank you, Garfield. We are joined also by Omar from Puerto Rico. We often get some international viewers on our show here, Bray. So that's really cool. Omar, he says he participated in Jota Jodi. It was excellent. Thank you, sir. Doug, good to see you again, sir. Thank you so much for watching today. Doug is from Troop 7310 and Pack 3310. We're going to continue our discussion about international scouting with Bray here. You talked about meeting with other scouts from across the world. That seems really cool for kids in our country, American kids, to be able to meet and kind of engage with scouts from other parts of the world. A lot of commonalities, I would imagine, right? Kids that are growing up in scouting here tend to have a lot of the same kind of values, I think, as scouts in other part of the world. What a cool opportunity to be able to connect. Is it possible to set up virtual meetings with international scouts? And if so, how does that work? What kind of advice can you share about something like that?
Yeah, Aaron, that's a good question. There's a number of ways you could do it, either through emails, and then scouts, once they get to know each other, they can set up Zoom meetings. And then they can do it through Zoom. I've traveled to over 30 countries internationally on behalf of scouting, and I can tell you, overseas, scouts around the world use a lot of WhatsApp. So that's another great way of connecting. We used to use Skype a few years ago, but now WhatsApp seems to be the way to go. And, one of the other things, Aaron, that as we connect with scouts, our scouts will learn, about all the different time zones. So, always keep in mind that if you're talking to scouts in Asia, it may be 8 o'clock at night here, but 8 o'clock in the morning over there, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning there. So it's a great way for our scouts to learn about time zones around the world and how they set up the meetings that's convenient for everybody. One of the other issues that also comes up, Aaron, is the language. I've found that scouts around the world, they all speak some type of English, or have some English capability, especially in Asia. Though the scouts in Asia all speak English, so that's a great connector. Europe, a lot of our scouts over there, a lot of the scouts over there speak English as well. And if they don't, it's a great way to get an interpreter, or a scout who's practicing French or Italian. They can earn their interpreter strip that way by being an interpreter on one of these Zoom meetings with an Italian scout or French scouts or German scouts.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool opportunities and advantages to doing this, meeting kids from all over the world, even if you don't talk about scouting, even if you just talk about life and things like that, right? What a cool opportunity for scouts to participate in. I want to talk about a couple of more events. One of these I'm definitely familiar with. One of these, I admit, I've been working here for a couple of decades, Brad. I'm not that familiar with it. There's a World Scout Jamboree coming up. There's also something called the World Scout Moot. That's MOOT. Honestly, I don't know that much about that second one, Bray. Can you tell us about both of those a little bit?
Absolutely, Aaron. So as we have the National Jamborees here every 4 years, there's a World Scout Jamboree every 4 years, and it's on the off year of our National Jamborees for the most part. So we just had one in Korea in 2024, and as you can see, the next one's coming up in 2027 in Poland. So that's the World Scout Jamboree. And like our national jamborees, we have scouts. Well, here we have scouts from around the world. You got about 30 to 35,000 scouts, ages 14 to 17 years old, gather together just like in a national jamboree. but you're working with scouts from all over the country, all over the world. And it's a great opportunity. It's a culture builder. It's a great friendship opportunity. And you just meet scouts, from all different cultures and backgrounds and activities. And you can find out how all the commonalities that you actually have, as you pointed out, with scouts, around the world, and all the different types of activities they participate in as you participate in as well. So 2027, Poland is the next World Scout Jamboree. We've already identified our head of contingent. And if you plan on attending, the website is open and you can register for a World Jamboree and be part of the USA contingent. And our contingent will help you with, registrations if you need it, with travel plans, all those types of things to make sure that you have a safe and secure and, a lot of fun at the World Jamboree. Now, to your other question, Aaron, a moot is somewhat similar, but moots are for those scouts that are 18 to 25. Although our scouts age out usually at 18, unless they're in some of our our older youth programs. In the rest of the world, you're still a scout at 25 years old. So this is what they call a rover moot. And those are for rover scouts or older scouts. And you may be part of a patrol, but your patrol members are all going to be from all different places from around the world. And a moot is usually much smaller. The one that we just had in Portugal here, as you see, a few weeks ago, they had about 8,000 scouts in Portugal. And they were on a beautiful beachfront in Portugal. And the scouts, there we go. The scouts came in from around the world, 8,000 scouts. And it's a little bit different. You have older scouts talking about those things that are common to them and, how to build culture and relationships and friendships. And if I can, Aaron, there's one, that's a great experience for our scouts to be able to attend. We had a comment recently from one of our scouts that attended the Rover Moot in Portugal. And if I could just read this one quick sentence that sort of highlights and captures everything about a Rover Moot. She said, "What a privilege it was to have found people to make saying goodbye so hard. That's what scouting is all about. That's what our jamborees are all about. And that's what our Rover Moots are all about." But those, again, ages 18 to 25 and every 4 years. So look again, for another 4 years, we're going to have another Rover Moot.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to get into that a little bit more if I could, Bray. But first of all, shout out to Allie, who's watching. She's part of Troop 25 in Illinois. Thank you for tuning in, Allie. And shout out to Tommy, who's from Troop 58 and Crew. You mentioned the older youth programs, Venturing Crew 58 from San Antonio, just down the road, just a few miles down the road from where I am. Good to see you. Tammy, thanks for joining. Yeah, the World Scout Jamboree, World Scout Moot, what a unique opportunity. I know you've been to a handful of these events. I wonder if you could just, before we move on to our next topic, talk about what really makes them life-changing. I had the opportunity to talk on the phone last week or a couple of weeks ago with the head of contingent from the for the National Scout Jamboree, and he spoke very, very passionately about the experience. Brad, I'd love to get your thoughts. What does it mean to be a part of one of these events with scouts from all over the world? What's that like?
I got to tell you, Aaron, it's, as I said, having traveled to 30 countries for different scout organizations, whether it was a regional jamboree or the World Scout Jamboree, you find out that how much we all are similar, that we don't look at those things that divide us, but those things that bring us together, those things that unite us as humanity around the world. And I got to tell you, every experience that I had had just been so exciting, so joyful. When I met scouts in Japan, when I met scouts in Thailand and actually in Hong Kong as well, I got to tell you, they were all very interested. They want to learn about us. They want to know about scouting in the United States. They want to know about all of those things we do in the United States. What makes scouting in the United States, scouting in the United States. And then same thing, we asked them about, what makes scouting in their country. So I got to tell you, the experience that I've had over the many, many years of doing international scouting, I still have friends. I have friends in Saudi Arabia and Japan and South America and Africa. I talk to a friend of mine in Malaysia once a week who's a scout. So I got to tell you, it's just one of those life-changing experiences, and you make lifetime friendships.
Awesome. There's another international initiative that maybe a lot of folks have heard of. Maybe they don't know exactly though what it means. I'd like to talk about that next. We're talking about Messengers of Peace and the Messengers of Peace initiative. Bray, can you tell us about that and what that involves and what the spirit is behind that?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Aaron. The Messages of Peace program, we're really jazzed about this program. It started a number of years ago in Saudi Arabia, and then it took legs and was spread throughout the scouting community throughout the world. Under the International Committee, we have a great Messengers of Peace program, some great leadership there that we're very excited about. So Messengers of Peace program is the opportunity a scout can do a service project. And these service projects, by the way, count for service project for rank advancement. Also, your Eagle Scout project can be a Messengers of Peace project. So it's an opportunity for our scouts to give work with scouts not only locally. Your Messengers of Peace project could be across the street, it could be across your state, it could be across the nation, or around the world. And we've had some really great Messengers of Peace projects. If you go up on the Scouting America International website, it talks about all the different types of projects and how you could put one together. It could be a project that deals with a civic opportunity or a cultural or a humanitarian opportunity. We had one scout that raised funds to provide mosquito netting to kids in Africa so they could sleep at night without suffering from malaria. We had another scout that actually built a school in the Honduras. Another scout, as you just saw that picture up there, built a new water system within the country to give them pure water. So these are some of the opportunities that they do. And we're very unique, Aaron, in the United States. We had approval that once you get the Messenger Peace Badge, which goes right there around your world crest, you can have other types of activities and additional service projects, and actually that badge changes from a silver to a gold to show that you have done additional types of Messengers of Peace projects. So it's not like a one and done. It's an opportunity to continue to do Messengers of Peace, and you can move from an advocate to a champion to an ambassador, and even become a distinguished Messengers of Peace ambassador, as the two programs that we just showed. Both of those young men became Messenger of Peace ambassadors and got the Distinguished Award. So this is a great program. It's a worldwide program, and we're very, very, very excited about it. It's an opportunity for our scouts to give back locally or around the world or in the country themselves.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, Messengers of Peace, as you said, it's an international initiative. But the project doesn't have to be international, right, Bray? It could benefit someone in your community. That can still be a Messengers of Peace project. And correct me if I'm wrong, we said an Eagle Scout project can count as a Messengers of Peace project as well. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep. Or any other type of service project can count. And as again, you can go up on our Messenger of Peace website, and it can tell you all about that and how you can qualify your service projects and your Eagle projects for a Messengers of Peace. And there you go, scouting.org international. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, great opportunity. There's a good chance that if you guys watching at home have some sort of service project planned in the future, go to that website, find out how to make it a Messengers of Peace project, a great way to connect with the Global Scout movement. Speaking of connecting with the Global Scout movement, in addition to these international in-person events, World Scout Jamboree, World Scout Moot, things like that, it is possible for scouts to plan international trips to go visit other scouts, maybe another country's Jamboree or another scout camp. Can you talk about that a little bit, Bray, and the process and how that works?
Sure, Aaron. So we already talked about the Jamborees, World Scout Jamborees or Rover Moots. Those are handled right through the National Scout Organization and through Scouting America. So those types of things, you become part of the contingent. We provide a service team and a management team that provides all the support to make sure that you have a safe, secure, and fun time at those different types of events. However, there are so many different types of scouting events happening around the world that we do not provide contingents all the time. So, for example, somebody wanted to take a regional jamboree in Asia or the regional jamboree in Africa. So if we have scouts or units that want to do that, we can assist you with that. And here again, your international representative can assist you with that. So if you go up on our website, one of the first things you need to do is you need to get an international letter of introduction, or what we call an ILI. There again, one of those acronyms, Aaron. So we have the international letter, and what that is, that's like your passport. That says to folks around the world that I'm a scout, I'm registered with Scouting America, and that they want to attend. Some of the like a regional jamboree, that's by invitation. So they would have to go up on the website for that particular region and they could register. But if they wanted to visit scout camps throughout the year, they could possibly do so with an ILI. If the unit wanted to go, they would also have to fill out an event verification form, and we can help them with that. And what that does is through the international committee, we provide that to the local National Scout organization in another country, and we verify that this particular troop or this particular council wants to attend, and they are in fact registered with Scouting America. So that then validates the opportunity for them to attend as scouts around the world. And here again, I know it's a lot of information to cover in a short period of time, but if you go up on our website, it talks all about the international letters of introduction, our event verification forms, and how you can join a contingent for a World Scout Jamboree or Rover Moot.
Awesome. Awesome. A shout out to Don from St. Peters, Missouri. Thanks for joining the show today, Don. Doug, good to see you. Doug says, as an advancement committee member, this is eye-opening content. You are welcome, Doug. Thank you for watching. And shout out to Spencer from Troop 58, boys and girls, it looks like, and Venturing Crew 58. Thank you for tuning in. Spencer, appreciate you joining today. Yeah, we always like to make sure folks know where to go to get more information. So you can go to that international website. I'm going to ask behind the scenes Brian to throw that up. Thank you one more time. We've also mentioned a person that folks can go to a few times. Let's get into that a little bit. The Council International Representative. I'm just guessing that's a council level. Is that a volunteer, Bray? Is that right?
Yes, it is, Aaron.
Okay. Talk about that a little bit, that person, and what kind of resource they can be.
Sure. So the international representative, mostly all of our councils have one. It's a volunteer. It's a volunteer that's appointed by the Scout Executive. And this is really the backbone of a lot of what we do in international scouting. They are the like a commissioner almost. They are the connector between International Scout Committee and all of the opportunities that we've talked about, including everything else that you could do in international scouting. So use them as a resource. If you wanted to get an ILI, talk to your international representative if you're not sure how to get that as a scout unit. You may want to do the Spirit Award, an international award. And how do I do that? Your international representative can help you with that. The international square knot, there's another way that they could do that. There's a whole bunch of opportunities that they can help provide to you, that if you're interested in doing international scouting, you're introducing the Messengers of Peace or any of those types of programs. The international representative in your council is a great resource. He's a volunteer or she's a volunteer, and they can be very helpful to you. For example, if you're looking at the Citizenship in the World Merit Badge and you want to do something in international scouting, the international representative, use them as a resource. Not only the websites, but you have a person in your council that can help you with all of these types of opportunities here and abroad.
Awesome. Yeah. And just in case there's some folks watching from a council that maybe doesn't have an international representative, Bray, can you cover real quick what they need to do to get one of those?
Well, you got to get a volunteer that's willing to step up to the plate. We have a good Tools for Councils pillar, some great leadership there. We're trying to get international representative in all of our 234 councils that we have right now. Majority of them are filled. But if somebody's very interested in international scouting and would like to volunteer, I would suggest they could talk to our Tools for Councils folks and talk to their scout executive and see if they can get appointed as the international representative. We provide some great training opportunities. They provide updates on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, tonight there's an international representative call that they brief all the international representatives on all of the new things that are happening and scouting around the world. So, yep, absolutely. Contact your scout executive or contact the international committee. And if we can help in any way, we'd be happy to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, when I spoke with the head of the contingent for the head of the U.S. contingent for the World Scout Jamboree, he talked about international events being a good opportunity for kids to sort of connect with things that they might be seeing in the news. People from countries that they've seen in the news before. Here's an actual person from that country to connect with, to talk with, to learn about their experiences. Another thing that I think people see, especially kids, you might see in the news a lot, embassies and consulates. These are words that we hear in the news a lot. I, of course, know what they mean, Bray, but this is another thing that Scouts can take advantage of, right? The value in visiting embassies and consulates, things like that. Can you talk a little bit about that and what that can mean and how they can help set something like that up?
Sure. There's a little bit more of a restriction on some of those, but let me just cover a couple of terms just so everybody knows. First of all, you have what they call a foreign mission. The foreign mission is the locations of a country from a country in the United States. And we have the same thing in other countries. We have consulates and embassies in other countries. So the embassy is where the ambassador is located. So every country has one embassy, and those are in Washington, D.C. However, they have offices throughout the United States known as consulates, where the ambassador is not located, that are also part of that foreign mission that represent that country. So, for example, if somebody wanted to get a visa for France, if they needed a visa for France or wanted to get information on France, they needed to get some information. They would go to the consulate or they would go to the embassy in Washington, D.C. or the local consulate. New York City has all of the consulates, obviously, because of the United Nations. All of the countries are represented at the United Nations. They have consulates, but there's others throughout the country. Miami, Los Angeles, in the Midwest, we have some in Indiana as well, and Indianapolis. They have various consulates. So consulates are not open for normal tours. You have to have business to go to a consulate or an embassy. But oftentimes, if you write to a consulate or an embassy, if you they can do an event. We used to do a lot of events in Washington, D.C. at the various embassies. They were very willing to open up their embassies from time to time for scouts, and we would do a scout event there, allow them to see the embassy, and the ambassador would oftentimes be there and to talk with the scouts. So the best way to do embassies, or if you were interested in visiting an embassy or consulate, you need to write to them first and make sure that you can set up some type of an event. Because because you are entering onto foreign soil, they are actually part of that country, and they are somewhat, there's certain restrictions, and obviously, as you can well appreciate, security measures they must follow. So the best thing to do is write to the consulate or embassy and see if there's an opportunity that you can arrange with them specifically.
Awesome. And I want to point out real quick, Bray, that Spencer, who commented earlier, is the Alamo Area Council's current international representative. Spencer says, thanks for doing this show, but I want to say thanks to Spencer for volunteering. That's very, very cool, man. We appreciate that. Thank you for watching. My last question before we let you go, sir. I have heard of Kindersteg. Am I saying that right? Kindersteg?
Kindersteg, yeah.
I know that word. I know that it's significant, and I know that there's something called the Kindersteg International Scout Center. Can we finish the show by talking about that? What is that, and any other international scout facilities along those same lines that people need to know about?
Yep. So the Kindersteg, the International Scout Center, or again known as KISC, there it is. It's located in Switzerland. This is a scout center that's open year-round. So scouts can visit it anytime during the course of the year. The one thing is, though, they do have a full program during the summer for scouts only. So if you are a scout, you want to visit during the summer, and they have very good programs during the summer, cultural programs, and all sorts of opportunities to visit, and a whole bunch of different things to do there. And then the rest of the year, you can also visit Kindersteg. Just a couple of cautions, one of which is sometimes travel to Switzerland can be expensive. So if you're looking to go there, they get booked very early. So start to look at if this is the type of opportunity you want to pursue. Look at it at least a year in advance and communicate. They have a website up on the World Scout Organization of Scout Movement, but this is a great opportunity. If you could flip to the next slide, please. There we go. There's a bunch of scouts enjoying Kindersteg in the Alps. So not only do they have cultural opportunities, but some just great outdoor fun in Kindersteg. It's a wonderful place to visit as a scout during the summer or even during the course of the year. So just to pick up in closing, Aaron, as you mentioned, there's two councils that we have that are Scouting America councils around the world. One of them is known as the Transatlantic Council, which serves all of the American scouts that may be in embassies or military bases. That's one of our scout councils. And the other one is the Far East Council located in Japan, and they serve all of our scouts over there. They also have have a number of different camps in their particular in Europe or Africa or even in the Far East that are scout camps that are open to our scouts to visit. They also have they maintain a number of historic trails throughout, whether it's Europe or again whether it's Africa or Asia, that they can be a great assistance as well. So if you're interested in connecting with U.S. Scouts, and here's one as you pointed out, Aaron.
Yep.
The Transatlantic Council has one at Normandy every 3 years. They just had one 2 years ago in 2024, and this is a great, wonderful experience for our scouts to go see, the Normandy. And there is at the cemetery were 9,800 of our American soldiers who perished, who made the ultimate sacrifice at Normandy, are buried there. So this is a great experience for our scouts to go visit if they get to the Normandy Camporee, and that could be arranged through the Transatlantic Council. So, and just one last thing, if I can just say, anybody who's additionally interested, we do run a training course every year at Philmont, at the Philmont Training Center, the international course. So if you want to become an international representative or be part of the committee, or just to learn more about international scouting, take a look at the training center opportunities at Philmont. We run an international course every year, and we welcome to have you and look forward to maybe seeing you at Philmont or someplace else around the world on behalf of scouting.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that Normandy Camporee, that's kind of on my bucket list. I'm not going to lie to you, Brad. I would love to get out there from that. Did you say that's every 3 years?
Every 3 years. Yes,
okay.
Sir. So we had one in 24, so there'll be another one coming up. It's a great experience.
That would be a really, really cool event to attend, I can imagine. Before we let you go, Brian, you gave us some resources. Brian, if you could throw up that last slide, stay in contact. Yeah, there's the information. You guys take a screen grab real quick if you'd like. World Organization of the Scout Movement, WASM, as I think us, all the cool people call it. There's also the International Scouting Division of Scouting America there at that scouting.org/international. And always, of course, follow along our social media feeds, Facebook and Instagram. Bray, this has been a great discussion. Before we let you go, any final thoughts on the international opportunities that are available to Scouts BSA members?
I think we've covered everything. Again, go up on those websites, on the Scouting America website. If you have any other questions, there is an email address that you can email us, and we're always happy to respond to you, and hope that you experience some of the great opportunities for world scouting with your other 60 million brother and sister scouts around the world. And thank you, Aaron, for this opportunity. It's been truly a pleasure to have this experience to join you on Troop Talk.
The pleasure's all mine. I definitely appreciate it. We'll end with a comment from Tammy, who says, "Thank you for sharing. Have a great day." Thank you, Tammy. And yes, for all of you out there, have a great day. Thanks for watching Troop Talk Live. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Bray. Appreciate it, sir.
Good. Thank you,
So
sir.
long, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye now.